Welcome back. It's Maxine, your spiritual astrologer, sharing astrology in a more empowering and soul-centered way. And today we're talking all about that Leo new moon, Mercury retrograde, the Jupiter-Mars conjunction. We're getting into a transit update for the astrology of early August. So what does this Leo new moon on August 4th, 2024 mean for you? What is the deeper spiritual significance? What is it that you are being called to recognize, to manifest? What new intentions do you want to set moving forward? What do you need to journal on, reflect on? This is what you're going to learn over the next however many minutes. I'm going to go into specifically 3 spiritual messages this time around, and I'll also give journaling prompts for each of those 3. So listen with your intuition, with your heart, because again, astrology is happening for you, with you. We're co-creating. So that's what the intention of these bi-weekly episode updates are. And if you haven't already signed up for my free Astro Mail with more details for every new and full moon for your zodiac sign specifically, you can go to MaxineLithia.com for that. So spiritual message number 1 for this Leo new moon, and again, the transits early August, is make room for joy, for more fun, more play, more pleasure, unleashing your creative spirit, just really finding more of a balance in your life. If you found that you've been stressed, that there's been a weight resting on you, or feeling that you've had to just really take care of everything else but yourself, that, first of all, don't judge yourself for that. We have had astrology that has really demanded a lot of us lately. So if you think back even just to the past 2 Capricorn full moons that we just had back to back, that is a lot about thinking very seriously long term. I did updates on those, but this now with this Leo new moon is changing the tides to ask you to not necessarily just stop everything and just do whatever you want and just forget about responsibilities, duties, obligations, work. That's not what this is about, but rather to find a way to structure that into your schedule to make sure that you're not neglecting your own inner child. So, and what I keep seeing with this is you need more recess. You need to go outside. You need to let yourself play and just not take things so seriously as you have been, or to compartmentalize and find a way to say, okay, that's work, or this is something heavy to deal with, but you also deserve, you are worthy. Your soul desires that lighthearted, playful energy too. You know, if this message resonates with you, you'll know what I mean, but there's some need to find more of a balance, to not feel like it's just work, 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 or doing everything for others, or just duties and obligations, and feels like a table of paperwork, but letting yourself find that time to just be, to have fun, to find what brings you pleasure, joy, romanticizing life, and finding a way to come home to that inner child. Again, such a key part of this new moon is going back to what is it that makes you laugh, that makes you feel just silly and free and creative and playful. So reconnecting with things that perhaps you haven't made time for in a while, that feel like, oh, it's a waste of time, or just there's too much going on. Really finding some pocket of time, even if you have to put it into your schedule, to make that time for yourself. We also have Venus at the last degree of Leo at 29 degrees. So it moves in August 5th into Virgo, but this is with that new moon, that added emphasis of needing to do more that brings you pleasure. Just enjoying life and really making it a point each day to seek that out. That might be a new intention that you're setting, or maybe it's something more concrete. You have a certain hobby you want to do more of, or your favorite series that makes you laugh, or you want to hang out with friends and just make more memories and have fun together. So whatever that looks like for you, but you're calling back that joy and doing good by your inner child and going to recess in some way, whatever that looks like for you. And this does relate to Mercury retrograde too. So this is a big theme that's flowing throughout the month of August, and finding a way to make sure, again, that you're prioritizing what it is that brings you joy, even amidst life's day-to-day demands of you. And a journaling prompt for this one is what brings you that sense of joy, and how can you carve out more space for your inner child. And then spiritual message number 2 for this Leo new moon is hold on to your faith. Trust that things are working out. Really have this deeper sense, knowing within you, despite what is going on around you in the 3D world, have that sense of commitment to being optimistic, to keeping your spirits high, and to keep trying. This new moon in Leo is actually sextiling Jupiter. So that's a really flowing, lovely aspect. Jupiter at 15 degrees of Gemini at this time. And it adds a dose of enthusiasm, of encouraging you in some way. You may feel more optimistic in something, or just setting your sights more toward the future for what's ahead, what good could come, being more hopeful, and having that more positive attitude about something very particular for you, if this message resonates, that you have felt deflated about in some way, or you felt it was very daunting looking ahead, and now it's trying to be really, really intentional about that narrative you're crafting going forward. So something that perhaps has been getting you down, this is a new moon to see things from a different perspective, or to start fresh in some way. It's giving you that strength to carry on. You're seeing and identifying, especially with this Jupiter conjunction to Mars at the same time. We have Mars in Gemini too. There's this willpower, this force of wanting to make sure that you are really manifesting, setting your sights on what it is you want, so that way you're getting there inch by inch. And we've talked about this. This is an ongoing energy, but here at this new moon, it's this sense of being committed to what you want, what's in your heart. And this is something we're getting clarity on throughout the month of August with that Mercury retrograde too. So a journaling prompt for this specific message of the Leo new moon is, what are you committed to going forward? Where do you need to keep going? And that might mean that you have to, again, make some tweaks. It might look a little different, but you're setting your sights on some vision, some intention, some goal, and you're doing it for the right reasons. Which leads us to spiritual message number 3, reconnect with your heart. And this speaks to not only that Leo new moon on August 4th, but the next day we officially have the start of Mercury retrograde. And this Mercury retrograde actually begins at 4 degrees of Virgo and backtracks to 21 degrees of Leo. And that actually begins on August 5th. It goes to August 28th. So this is a defining transit for this whole month, that Mercury retrograde of needing to go back, rework things, reconsider things, rethink, revisit, redo things, making sure that everything's in order and aligned with your heart space going forward. That is the big key idea of this Mercury retrograde, is finding what is out of alignment, what has just been a distraction, what has been leading you off course, and what is it that you need to come back to your heart, to be aligned with that, with your actions, with your words, with how you're showing up day to day. This sense of letting yourself take center stage again, and doing so with heart. So that might look like needing to have a tough conversation. It might look like needing to compromise more. It might look like making sure that you are prioritizing in your own life the correct things, things that actually feel meaningful to you rather than void and empty. So it's really allowing yourself to find your way back home to your heart. So that's the journaling prompt for this one. What is it that your heart wants? And how can you align your life, the way that you're showing up each day, with that? During this Mercury retrograde, you may really notice where you've been living from shoulds, what your mind is telling you you should do, or what your mind is telling you you should say, or who you should be, or what the correct choice is, or feeling where you're not living, again, from that inner sense of knowing. What brings you that sense of passion, of spark, of feeling alive. So that is a big piece of Mercury retrograde. There can be a lot of miscommunication that happens at this time, delays, kind of the ordinary bag of what happens with Mercury retrogrades. This whole month is going to try to throw you off course in certain ways, to test you and make sure that, is this really what you want? Are you willing to take the detour to get to your destination? There's such a need to trust whatever God, the universe, whatever your beliefs are there, what is being brought to you. That perfectly thought out plan that you have, that timeline, that schedule, that the way you think things are going to look, it might not be that, but it might be better. So those are all 3 spiritual messages for you this Leo new moon. Again, that's August 4th, 2024, but I've shared even about the transits, the Mercury retrograde that really jumpstarts the month of August for us. So I hope that this helps you to feel more empowered going into the month, more grounded, doing those journaling prompts, getting clarity there, going forward so you're able to really set that new intention and start a new chapter and give yourself the opportunity to do so. Because this whole month of August has so much of this Leo energy in it. And there's something about this new moon that's asking you to summon that lion-hearted Leo courage within you. And so I just hope that this was helpful for you. I'm so grateful you're here. I hope you see that courage in you and recognize that and really let yourself have that new beginning that you are so worthy of. So I'll leave it at that. Again, if you want to get those specifics for your zodiac sign too, I send those out every new and full moon. You can go to MaxineLuthia.com. And of course, you'll see other ways to learn astrology with me on my website. And if you are interested in joining Spiritual Astrology School, the doors to that will open in September. So just to keep that on your radar if you wanted to join. Thanks so much for being here again, and I'm sending so many blessings your way. I hope you have a magical Leo new moon, and until next time.